हेलो लर्नर्स, आई होप यू आर डूइंग प्रीटी गुड इन योर लाइफ। आज हम बात करेंगे कि आप किस तरीके से इंग्लिश में सोच सकते हैं। डेट मीन्स हाउ यू कैन स्टार्ट टू थिंक इन इंग्लिश। इसके रिगार्डिंग मैंने आपके लिए यहाँ पे कुछ कंटेंट्स बनाए हैं दैट वी आर गोइंग टू स्टडी फर्दर इन दिस वीडियो। एज यू कैन सी इन योर स्क्रीन द 7 levels, we would be going to start with the first one that you can see that think in single words, and then we would move further from level 1 to level 7. Okay, so let's get started. So the first thing which you can do here is to think in single words. Okay, so most experts says that it is best to start with small one. Just look around you and what do you see on that? So in your head, try to name each object in your surroundings. So as you continue with this, it becomes more of a habit. So things are going to pop up into your head. Like in front of me, there is a computer and I have a phone. There is a desk, chair and almirah and so on. So like this, you can start naming all the objects in front of you or which are surrounded to you. And you can also start with the nouns and then add in verbs. Like I have a dog. Dog basically is sleeping. So I can say the dog is sleeping. Here the dog is a noun and sleeping is a verb. And you can do one more thing here is that you can label everything in your room. And as you start labeling the things which are surrounded to you, like I have an extension board. If I use the sticky note and write it down the extension board and just stick it to the extension board, and definitely whenever I see that word with that product with that object, I will be remembering every time that what that product will called, and definitely the word will going to stick in my mind. Let's move on to the second level, which we call describing unknown words. In simple words, if I can say what is called describing unknown words, that you know what it is called but you can't remembering that word on that time. For an example, there is a word called garage, and if you are looking at your house and you see your garage but you can't think of the name in English, okay, on that time you can use the analogy called the place inside where I can put my car, or the place inside where I put my car, or you can say it is next to my house, I keep things there. So it is related to the garage, but on that time you are not remembering that word, so that's why you use that analogy so to remember or to compare the object or the place. And you can use shorter phrases like it is similar to or it is the opposite of. And let us move further on to the third level, which is called think in sentences. And when you start making or describing unknown words, so start to think in sentences as well. And how you can start to think in sentences as well, like suppose if you are in a park and you are sitting and you can tell to yourself things like it is such a beautiful day or people are playing sports with their friends. या फिर आप यहाँ पर ये भी कह सकते हैं कि there is a person who is sitting just beside of you having an ice cream with their brother. So you can start making sentences like your own. जैसे जैसे ये आसान होता जाएगा, you can move on to the more difficult sentences. Okay, now let us move further on to the fourth one, or called the fourth level, which is called describe your day. तो आप यहाँ पे क्या कर सकते हो कि आप अपना दिन को डिस्क्राइब कर सकते हो कि आप पूरे दिन में क्या करते हो. एंड ऑलवेज ट्राई टू डिस्क्राइब योर डे इन अ सिंपल प्रेजेंट वर्ब फॉर्म. जैसा कि आप यहाँ पे कह सकते हो कि आई पुट ऑन माई शर्ट और ही ड्राइव्स द बस. दीज टू सेंटेंसेस आर एन एग्जांपल ऑफ सिंपल प्रेजेंट टेंस और द सिंपल प्रेजेंट वर्ब फॉर्म. इफ यू डोंट नो हाउ यू कैन डिस्क्राइब योर डे, सो लेट मी गिव एन एग्जांपल हियर. लाइक एज आई हैव रिटन माई डेली रूटीन, लाइक आई वेक अप एट 7 AM, I freshen up and then I brush up my teeth. After finishing my early morning routine, I go for a morning walk and then I practice yoga. Later on, I take a bath and get ready for workplace. So you can practice like this. Okay, let's move further on to the fourth one, or the fourth level, like think in conversation. Like you can start having conversation with your friends or the family member, or you can try it by your own. So what you can do is to start imagining a person or start imagining to yourself in front of you that you are talking with yourself and start asking questions. And when you start asking question to yourself, that you have to give an answer as well. Through that question, you will be able to start having a conversation as well. Like, and this is a great way to practice what you might say in a real conversation. Example के तौर पे, let's say the imaginary person asks you a question like, what did you think of the award show last night? And how would you answer? Basically, आप यहाँ पर conversation को imagine करिए और अपने दिमाग में practice करिए इस चीज को लेकर के. You can do this out loud or in silence. अगर आप अकेले हो तो इसको आप थोड़ा आवाज तेज करके भी बोल सकते हैं, और अगर आप किसी के साथ हो तो आप ये मन मन में भी ट्राई कर सकते हैं. And let's move further on to the sixth one, which is called taking notes. जैसे कि अगर आप कभी बाहर जाते हैं और आपको कुछ नए वर्ड सीखने को मिलते हैं, like recently I have learned a word called scapula. सो मैंने उसको राइट डाउन करा अपनी नोट्स में, उसके साथ मैंने काफी सारे सेंटेंसेस बनाए, सो आई कैन रिमेंबर दैट वर्ड व्हेनेवर आई नीडेड इट. एट सम पॉइंट यू विल नीड टू यूज अ डिक्शनरी एज वेल. इफ योर skill level is high enough, you might consider using an English to English dictionary, or you can use another dictionary as well. Last but not least, we have the practical exercise that is called practice it daily. And if you don't do practice, definitely you're gonna forget everything what you have learned. And try to make a notes as I already suggest you in the 6th one. And let's move further on to the our overview section, where you get the idea what we have learned about, that we have learned about using the single words structure, that you have to start think in a single word and describing unknown words after that, that whenever you start describing unknown words, you can have a sentence structure wherever you are or whenever you try to start making sentences. And when you start having or getting comfortable with describing your day, then you can definitely have a conversation with yourself. And while having conversation with yourself or going out, you can start taking notes as well. And don't or never forget the practical one, which is called practice. कभी भी practice कराना छोड़ें और प्रैक्टिस करते रहें जब तक आपको एक अच्छी हैंड्स ऑन ना हो जाए इस लैंग्वेज पर. टिल द टाइम वी हैव वन मोर सेक्शन विच इज कॉल्ड Q&A, क्वेश्चन एंड आंसर. इफ यू स्टिल थिंक दैट यू आर हैविंग लॉट्स ऑफ डाउट, सो you can definitely ask the question in the comment section. And till the time, bye bye.